Hello everyone, I am Potpourri and welcome to my channel Make It Yourself. So today we'll be making this beautiful Disney Frozen Princess Elsa inspired beanie. As you can see, it has a lovely braid to the side and it will really look cute on your little princesses. So guys, please do subscribe to my channel because I will also be uploading an Anna inspired beanie very soon. Thank you and hope you guys enjoy this video. To know how to make different sizes, please refer the description part. I'll be using a Red Heart Super Saver chunky yarn in the color blue and white. I'll also be using a crochet hook of size 5 mm and I'll need a pair of scissors and a needle. We'll start with a magic ring and then we will chain 3. After the chain 3, we will be making 12 double crochets in the ring. Pull the tail yarn to make it tight and then we are going to slip stitch to the 3rd chain of our first stitch. So this is row 2. We will start off with a chain 3 and then we will be making 1 double crochet in the same stitch and 2 double crochet in the next stitch. So we will continue this and we'll be making 2 double crochets in each of the stitches. So we should be having a total of 24 stitches at the end of this round. At the end of the round, we will slip stitch it to the 3rd chain of our first stitch. And then we will chain 3 again and make a double crochet in the same stitch. And here too, like the previous round, we are going to make 2 double crochets in each of the stitches. So we should have a total of 48 stitches at the end of this round. So at the end of round 3 we are going to do like what we did before. We are going to slip stitch it, and so now we are going to start off with our ribbed pattern. So for this ribbed pattern we are going to work on the front post and the back post. So the bottom part of a stitch is called as a post. We generally work on the top part, but for this pattern we will be working the front post double crochet and the back post double crochet. So in front post double crochet we are going to use the hook and make a double crochet on the front side as shown. So this is a front post double crochet, and we will do the same thing, but we'll make this stitch from the back side, and this is called as a back post double crochet. So we will alternate between a front post and a back post, and we will continue the same pattern for this entire round. And also we are not making any increases, so the total number of stitches at the end of the round should be the same. At the end of the round, as usual, we will be slip stitching it to the third chain of our first stitch, and then for the next round we are going to chain 3. So here we are going to make a front post stitch where we have already made one previously, and a back post double crochet on the already made back post stitch. So we will work for this entire round in a similar manner, but we'll be working on the, if it is a front post we will do a front post stitch, and if it is a back post we will have to do a back post stitch. So here too we are not making any increases, so the total number of stitches at the end of this round will also be the same, that is you should have a total of 48 stitches. So we make a slip stitch as usual, and to move on to the next row, after the slip stitch we will have to make a chain of 3. So basically we are going to repeat the same pattern what we have already done before. We will be continuing the same pattern for row 6 to row 9. So here I have a beanie which is almost completed. As you can see, I have done a ribbed pattern of total 6 rows. After 6 rows I have done 3 rows of simple double crochet. Just make sure that you're not making any increases, you're working on the same stitches, so you should always have a total of 48 stitches. So here as a sample I will just show you how from the ribbed pattern you can move to the pattern of double crochet. So here we are just going to make 1 double crochet in each of the stitches around the entire row, so we're not making any increases. From row 10 to row 13 make this pattern of 1 double crochet in each stitches. So we're making total of 4 rows. The reason we are doing this for 4 rows is because when on the 5th row we do the ribbed pattern, the row below turns into a ribbed stitch as well. So to get 3 rows of simple double crochet we will have to make 4 rows. I hope you understood this. So row 14 to row 17 we are going to do the ribbed pattern, where row 17 is the last row for the beanie. At the end of the row, as usual, slip stitch it to the third chain of the first stitch. Here our beanie is almost done. So to change the design, you can have ribbed and plain stitches on any rows you want. So here I'm going to make one more extra chain just to secure the end tail, and then I'm going to trim off the yarn. After trimming off the yarn, I will have to stitch it into the existing stitches. So you can see how you can stitch it into the already existing stitches and hide the tail. For the snowflake, we start off with a magic ring and then we chain 1. Next we are going to make 12 single crochets into the magic ring. At the end of the row, slip stitch it to the first stitch, and then for the second row we will be making a chain of 3. This chain 3 counts as a double crochet. Next, make another double crochet in the next stitch. Then we are going to make a chain of 3 and make a double crochet in the next stitch. This will be followed by another double crochet. So the pattern will be 2 double crochet followed by 3 chains followed by 2 double crochet again. We will have to do this for the entire round. After our last double crochet, we will chain 3 and then slip stitch it to the top of the very first stitch. Now make a chain of 5 and then slip stitch it to the 4th chain from top. So we are leaving one chain, then we'll be making a chain of 6 and then we are going to slip stitch it to the bottommost chain or the 6th chain from the top. Now chain 4 and slip stitch it to the 4th chain from top, and now we will slip stitch the entire thing to the 5th chain from top of our very first chain. So once this is done, we will slip stitch it again in the middle of the double crochet here, and then we are going to make a single crochet over our second double crochet. Now we are going to make 2 single crochet over the chain 3, and then we are going to make a chain of 2 and then make another 2 single crochet. Now slip stitch it to the top of our first double crochet of the next part, and then we are going to do the same. We're going to chain 5 and slip stitch it to the 4th chain, chain 6, slip stitch it to the 6th chain, and then chain 4, slip stitch it to the 4th chain, then slip stitch it to the very first chain again, and then slip stitch it into the main stitch and then make a single crochet. So we'll be basically repeating this same pattern till the end of this row. At the end of the row, we are just going to slip stitch it to the end of the chain, and then we are going to cut off the yarn and crochet, or you can even stitch in the end tail. Here I am showing you how to crochet in the tail yarn. You can do this using a needle also. Now we are going to stitch the snowflake over our beanie. So you can use any white yarn, and we are just going to stitch in the center part and the edges of the snowflake. We need not stitch the entire snowflake to the beanie. Not stitching around the entire snowflake gives a kind of a 3D effect, which I think looks lovely, but it is up to you. If you prefer, you can stitch around the entire snowflake also. Make sure to secure all the ends with proper knots so that they do not come off. Now that we have the beanie with the snowflake ready, we are going to attach the hair to make the braid. So we will fold the yarn, and the folded length should be around 24 inches. We will take 2 strands or 2 folded strands such that we will have 4 hairs, and we will crochet that into one of the stitches. So we will start from the middle of the beanie and we will go around till we reach the back. On the back side also we will be adding the strands to the stitches, and we will be using only half of the stitches as shown. So here I'm adding additional strands to cover the gap in between, and this also gives a thicker braid. Once all the strands are added, we will start rolling it as shown. So we will have to make 3 rolls to make a braid. The front part we will roll together to make the first part of the braid. Then we can take some stitches from the we can take some strands from the center and make the second part, and the back portion we can roll it to make the third part. So taking the 3 parts, we are going to make a braid. While making the braid, you can roll the strands a bit to give it a nice look, and at the end of the braid you can use a rubber band and tie off the braid. If the ends of the strands are uneven, you can cut them to give it proper shape. So our beautiful beanie with the braid is ready. So this beanie is stretchable as well. This beanie is for the age group of around 2 to 3 years old. More details about the different sizings are given in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please like my video and also provide your feedback in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe, guys, because I'll soon be uploading the Anna version of the beanie as well. Thank you so much for watching.